Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Excalibur Data Systems Roundtable Tech Talk. I am Mike Fuson, and I'm joined today. We have a little hiatus from us talking, but Kam from AlertOps. Kam, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike, for having me on.
Yes, it's good. It's fun to get back into the discussion, get back into the groove of talking. I mean, you guys have done some really interesting stuff over the last little bit. But one of the things that we thought start the conversation on is what is alert ops, right? Okay, alert ops, I can kind of guess what that might be. But it's actually a host of different things that alert ops brings to the table. So talk to me a little bit about, as a customer, why am I buying AlertOps? What is it doing for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one thing that I will say is I think that the word alert has become pretty much commoditized, right? Whether you're a monitoring tool, whether you're a ticketing tool, whether it's Grubhub telling you that there's a delivery outside your door, alerts are everywhere. So, that term alert is kind of very, very specific from the context of alert ops. So, from big picture perspective, we are an alert management, incident, and service request response software. So, what we really do is provide a platform to orchestrate response when someone needs to get the information and getting the right person the right information. This includes things such as automated on call scheduling, building out escalation playbooks so that based on the type of incident, the type of event that occurs, that any alert and subsequent multi-channel notifications will actually make it to the right person. And then beyond that, we have workflows to actually automate additional parts of response that would otherwise be manual. So in the case that you automatically want to generate a ticket the second that a security system puts out an alert, or automatically kick out an update to a status page when you know that your store portal service is down. So a lot of the automation that oftentimes accompanies any area of response, whether it's service, incident, business continuity, etc.
Well, and one of the things I know that we've talked about in previous discussions on this is where it kind of started, way back in the day, what feels like 1,000 years ago, was really major incident response, right? That was kind of the genesis. Is Organizations were having difficult with major incident response, and then it morphed from there. And there's a lot more automation, a lot more playbook sort of activity that we can do to and fro, as the case may be. But one of the things we've talked about is one of the challenges with, and as you said, alert's been kind of commoditized, where we can almost call this communication ops, because it's
Yeah.
not just about alerting. It's about that initial communication. And as we've talked about before, being able to build communication groups where you may have business users who need to be aware of, hey, what's going on, and being able to give them a regular status update as to what we're doing, especially around major incident management. So a key system being down, what is IT doing? Taking that, somebody's got to start managing, email groups and everything else to make sure, oh, shoot, we've been focused on this for 20 minutes and we're supposed to give them a 15-minute update. We can automate some of our updating that's going on, making the business aware or customers aware of the status of what we're doing. And that's a key feature that a lot of customers use it for. And then with the additional automations that have been built in, we have the ability to do so much more, which we're gonna kind of cover. And I think we've got like a 252 part series of all the wonderful things that we can do with AlertOps. And what we've seen is AlertOps has grown to where it fills that gap for a large customer, but also fills that gap for smaller customers who have very unique, very diverse conversational needs. And one of our series is going to cover things that are specifics to managed service providers. Because while a managed service provider, could be a smaller organization, Excalibur was a managed service provider for over 20 years. We didn't have a staff of 700 people. We had a staff of 15, but we still managed hundreds of clients. So all of a sudden, as things are alerting, we have all kinds of different communication that needs to go on. And back in the day when we did this, which feels like stone tablets and like we're in the Flintstones, chiseling on stuff, it was emails and some other things as we were alerted to an outage, making a business owner aware, hey, just got an alert, your server's down. That's going to affect these systems. All of a sudden, we can automate some of this and automate on-call notifications and other things that were very, very difficult to do earlier as the technology just wasn't there. And now we have these technologies available to help us do this. So it's alert ops, it's, communication op, operations ops.
Yeah.
It's covering a lot of different areas for us and filling a hole. Customers will say to us all the time, well, couldn't I do this with my service management system? Oh, you could, only to a degree, though.
Yeah.
Can it spit out emails? Sure. Could you set triggers for those? Sure, but not to the structure and the way that, which is why AlertOps exists, and it is married for almost all clients to their service management system. And as you said, it can handle taking an alert in and triggering the actual generation of the ticket as it's managing its responses, and we can write back and forth and do all kinds of things for audit and control. It's just crazy the number of things we can get into.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you hit on two big areas there, right? It started with the major incident management. It started with the enterprises. And a lot of the times you'll see that the kind of burning need for a new piece of technology or a new model or framework in terms of how to operate oftentimes comes from the enterprises because that's where the complexity starts. Now, with that said, though, like you said, managed service providers deal with the infrastructure and environments of hundreds of clients, and this digital transformation, migration to the cloud, whatever you want to call it. Ultimately, there are more moving parts today than there ever were before in an IT organization. So that push, I think, is starting to become very, very transparent in terms of the enterprises definitely having some level of unique needs, but the small to mid-sized businesses are catching up in terms of their needs. And I think that from that standpoint, it starts to become very transparent as far as what best practice should be. And like you mentioned, right, we actually hear that question quite a bit. In the case that I can do something, some level of basic alerting from my service management tool, why wouldn't I make use of it? Well, it's essentially the same reason that even though you have Microsoft Paint, you buy Adobe Illustrator. There's a difference between something that can do something and something that was purpose built for something, right? And I think that distinction is
It's
kind
what
of
we
critical.
always refer to. Yes, what we refer to as point solutions.
Yeah.
These solutions exist because they fill a gap that exists. No matter how good the other system is, it can't do everything perfectly. And different businesses are going to have different needs. And it's funny because as we were preparing to do this recording today, um, you had an internet issue, so we had
Yeah.
to delay the recording. And I was telling Cam the story of internet issues I was having from my home system getting into systems that were in the office. And these are real issues that go on. And because we're now, some users are working from home. The migration of the cloud was accelerated at 500 miles an hour by the pandemic. So many things have changed in a very short period of time, where all of a sudden something that wouldn't have been a big deal and would have had more limited impact now has a much more significant impact on our customers' ability, our ability to do things that we were used to doing. Because our thought was, on my internet issue was, okay, is this more widespread? Do we have other people, other staff that are having trouble getting in? So is it an infrastructure issue? It is an internet issue, and you go through your troubleshooting, and we actually were able to do an alert out and saying, hey, we've had a report. Could you guys report in saying, thumbs up, thumbs down? Are you working? No, I can get to everything. Okay, so this is more localized. All right, so this now isn't a P1, you know, I'm the owner of the company, but hey, I was able to work around it. Um, but helped us understand, okay, what are the things that are going on? And this is some of the cool stuff I'm looking forward to covering, because we have that ability to do not only the push out, but also get the response in, and figure out things that are going on. And really, I said, alert ops is what it's called, but it really becomes communication ops. It really helps us communicate better and automate better for our organizations. So it'll be exciting I'm excited to start to dig into it. You can learn about AlertOps, ExcaliburData.com. We have some information out there on AlertOps. Reach out to us. We'd be happy to get you together with Kam and the team at AlertOps and talk about AlertOps and how it can help you transform your communications and your alerting and automation within your organization. Kam, as always, thanks for joining me. And I look forward to digging into all the gooey goodness that is AlertOps.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, look forward to the next one.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you again soon on another episode. Bye bye for now.